Hello and welcome, my dear friend. The God who guided a bird to its nest, who orchestrated the precise spin of atoms to birth a star, that same God took your hand long before you knew you needed holding, and he's still holding it now. So if lately you felt something unfamiliar stirring, a strange sensitivity, a low hum beneath your peace, a pull you can't quite explain, it's not confusion. It's trust trying to make a home inside you. We're taught to believe trust is soft, passive, a fallback for when logic gives up. But that's not what's happening here. What you're sensing is not weakness, it's calibration. Your spirit is learning how to move with the current, not against it. Because control is exhausting when your soul already knows the direction. And right now, something in you is remembering that the most sacred form of strength is surrender. Not giving up, not checking out, but releasing the need to grip every step of the path, when the one who wrote it is already walking beside you. It feels strange because you're used to striving. You're used to translating progress through exhaustion, measuring how far you've come by how much it's hurt. But something deeper is rising now, and it's not asking for your hustle, it's asking for your presence. That's why the things you used to force no longer move, why the doors you've knocked on feel silent, why even your own voice feels quieter than it used to, because you've entered a different room. This is the part of the journey where the old tools stop working, not because they were wrong, but because you're being taught a different rhythm, a new way of creating, a new way of choosing, a new way of listening. And that transition is not passive, it's powerful. You're not floating without direction, you're aligning with divine velocity. There's a reason your timing has been disrupted, a reason why plans shifted, why people disappeared, why opportunities came close but didn't quite land. It's not sabotage, it's redirection by a higher intelligence. And yes, sometimes that divine flow will confuse your logical mind. It will reroute your steps. It will take longer than you were told, but it will never take you somewhere you weren't designed to go. You've been feeling that, haven't you? That subtle ache in the soul that says, I know I'm not done here, but I don't know what's next either. You're right. You're not done. And the not knowing is not your enemy. It's the space where miracles build muscle. See, God isn't interested in just returning you to what you lost. He's rebuilding something in you that couldn't exist before the break, before the silence, before the pause. And you're not late. You're right on time for the version of life that actually fits you. Now let me offer you this. It's like learning to walk again, but underwater. Everything familiar feels slower, heavier. Even breathing takes intention. But eventually your body adapts, and you realize the environment didn't change to punish you. It changed to strengthen parts of you that gravity could never reach. That's where you are now, building depth, learning breath, discovering that just because it's quiet doesn't mean it's stagnant. You're being held, not because you're fragile, but because you're valuable. And no, God hasn't changed his mind about you. You haven't disqualified yourself. You haven't missed it. You're not behind. You're in flow. And it's uncomfortable because your spirit was trained in resistance. But now you're being invited into partnership, to act with the wind, not against it, to pray not only with your words, but with your posture, to create not from panic, but from alignment. This is not you fading. This is you recalibrating to match the frequency of what's next. And the same God who formed galaxies from dust is still forming the next chapter inside of you. You know it's not about waiting forever for some grand arrival. It's about recognizing that the shift has already begun. Maybe it wasn't loud. Maybe it didn't come with celebration or clarity. But if you pay attention, really pay attention, you'll realize some things already don't feel the same. The way you used to bend your tone just to sound more digestible, it doesn't come naturally anymore. The way you once scanned the room for signs of acceptance before speaking your truth, it feels like a strange costume now, one you forgot why you ever wore. Even the relationships you use to twist yourself to maintain, they feel too small, too strained. Not because you've become cold, but because you've become clear. And no, this doesn't mean it all feels comfortable. Transformation rarely announces itself with trumpets. Most of the time, it's quiet. It slips into your life like a new key on a familiar piano. And suddenly, nothing sounds the same anymore. You may still be in the same house, wearing the same clothes, clocking into the same job, but the inside of you knows something moved, and it won't let you pretend anymore. You may still be in the same house, wearing the same clothes, clocking into the same job, but the inside of you knows something moved, and it won't let you pretend anymore. That's not restlessness, that's revelation. And it's not telling you to see it differently, to walk through your own days like someone who remembers God is not finished here. With your story, with your gifts, with your healing, with your voice, you are not at the end. You are standing in the middle of holy redefinition. This is the part where nothing feels clear yet, but your roots are deeper than they've ever been. Because trust is no longer a word you say when you're scared. It's a posture you carry when nothing looks certain. And this kind of trust, it doesn't need to perform or impress. It just stays present, aligned. God isn't rushing you, He's refining you. Not because you're broken, but because the blessing He's building through you requires a foundation that won't crack under pressure. You've been noticing it, haven't you? The way your tolerance for noise has dropped. The way you can sense energy without anyone saying a word. How silence no longer feels empty, just sacred. That's discernment, not burnout. That's your soul no longer being available for things that dilute its assignment. That's the spirit pulling you closer, away from the distractions that once kept you spinning, and into the steadiness of who you were always meant to be. It's not about striving harder, it's about staying present longer. Because you can't miss what's already marked for you, but you can miss the joy of walking with God through the becoming. And maybe that's the whole point. Not to just arrive someday, but to live in such deep alignment that you can recognize the sacredness of now, even in the unfinished, even in the awkward middle, even when you're still cleaning up the last version of yourself while glimpsing the outline of who you're becoming. God is in all of it, the transition, the tension, the tenderness. He didn't step back while you waited. He leaned in, closer than your breath, more familiar than your doubt, more constant than the chaos. So no, you're not behind. You're not less spiritual because you still cry sometimes. You're right where you're supposed to be, in the middle of a divine build that's taking shape from the inside out. And you're doing better than you think. You didn't lose your momentum. You found your stillness. You didn't lose your passion. You just stopped pouring it into places that couldn't carry your calling. And most importantly, you didn't fall behind. You fell into alignment, and God isn't done with you, not even close. So keep walking, keep listening, keep breathing with intention, keep acting from alignment, not anxiety. Because the kind of life God is shaping for you doesn't require you to be perfect, just willing to stay open, willing to flow, willing to believe that maybe, just maybe, the same God who formed constellations and calmed storms is still writing your next sentence and smiling while He does it. Because He knows this chapter will be the one that makes sense of all the others. And it starts right here, right now. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.